You're listening to the Midwest Most Dangerous Podcast, Season 16, Episode 15, LOCPod, coming to you live from the NECA IBEW Powering Indiana Lake County Studios.
We're back.
Good morning. We got the air conditioner on right now?
Yeah, you'd think you'd want to save money.
Well, NIPSCO's rates have been so high, I've been like kind of keeping the heat down.
Oh, yeah?
It's 34
Sorry,
degrees
my
outside.
hands are a little cold.
Well, I'm glad I got my my hoodie on.
Your Halloween hoodie, man.
Yeah.
My Halloween hoodie.
Very
That is a nice hoodie.
Spooky.
I'm
Check
in
that
the
out.
Halloween spirit.
Boo.
You know? Yeah, it's scary, right?
Yes, very
Are you
scary.
going to wear that on Halloween?
Hey, by the way, thanks to Matt Reardon, Johnny Law Cantrell, Lindsay and John Vesmar for the last show.
Great show.
Great cover. Kevin and I are back from the French Lick Sybaris, so happy to be here.
John was like obsessed with the Sybaris.
I know.
Like, John, say Sybaris one more time.
But like, if you were
Why
going,
aren't they a sponsor?
I think he must have like one of those like frequent flyer Sybaris.
But like
A punch card?
punch
a
card.
literal card?
if you had a Sybaris in French Lick, the French Lick Sybaris, that's all you have
That's
to
the
say.
best
John was
marketing.
right about that.
What's that?
The best marketing.
Yeah, right. French Lick Sybaris.
I think he said something like, if you're going to go to French Lick, or if you're going to go to a place called French Lick,
Right. You may
need
as
to
well have a
visit the
Sybaris. Right.
Yeah.
But Kevin and I, we had a different room. It was 2 rooms, of course, right?
Yeah.
But
Adjoined?
no, one
Actually-
one shared pool.
We did not realize until late in the trip that we were actually next door to each other.
What?
I know. I just found out yesterday. Yeah. Lots of bubbles with our Sybaris, though, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, but it was great. I thought when they talked about the lines, then I was cracking up. So
It was a good show. It was a good cover.
Matt was like, and then I just found myself in the parking lot.
Yeah,
The
like he was going to get
like going to get a Coke at McDonald's, but ended up in the lines then parking lot.
That's a bad turn.
We've all been there.
I appreciate it's nice to have a cover. It's nice to get a break in the middle of the season. We do like to put on every episode, so we need a great cover. And I tell you what, that was a good cover.
Yeah,
last
they
show.
brought it. Thank
Yeah,
you, thank you
that's
guys.
so
Yeah,
I like how
everybody.
Lindsay showed up. She had no idea that it was. She's like,
She's like,
"What
I
the
don't
fuck?"
check the note.
She's like, shows up, and it's like all dude show. It's like, ah, shit.
And then there was a time where I didn't realize John left, and then I was like, man, John's not really saying much because I was only listening. I didn't watch it. I
Right.
listened to it and in the car, and it was just Matt and Lindsay, and they did a great job.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a good
Lin-
show, man.
yeah.
Thank you guys.
This is how organized we are on LOCPod. Lindsay comes in like 7:25, and she goes, "Where's my dad?" I go, "I take it you haven't read the show notes."
Girl, same.
Lindsay and Jill pride themselves on it.
I'm
We have
coming
no
on and
control over this
It's
anyway. There's no point in
It's
reading
just
it.
you're like the cold turkey. I'm an impromptu person, right?
yeah, you come in and just want to be surprised.
Yeah.
I wonder
Yeah.
what these fools are going to talk about today.
Yeah.
And we got a good show, by the way.
Even though we bought you an iPad, didn't we?
Yeah.
And you still don't check the show notes.
Listen.
good point, John.
I posted something yesterday.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I use that iPad.
Yeah, like once a week, right before the show.
Right after the show note's done, she comes in with these great links.
Yeah,
Because
right.
it's a response to what you're already going to talk about.
There
Okay.
you go. All right.
Supplemental.
There's a reason.
Supplemental.
There's a rationale to that.
Yeah, I was. We had AIM, Accelerate Indiana Municipalities. It was. It's a convention for cities and towns in Indiana. It was in French Lick, which is a great place for a conference. And I got to take. I had 5 beds. It's really competitive to get rooms there because I know a year ago I think I had twice as many beds. This year I only got 5 single beds.
I talked to somebody who came from Indianapolis and registered late, and they said that they got put. The only place available was the water park up the way.
The Best Western. They wanted us to stay there. I was like, I will not go if I'm at the Best Western. I
You
have to
could have
be.
just taken your RV and slept in the RV.
I could have, yes, but it was cold. It was definitely cold
Oh.
at night. I have, but you know what? You'd be off the grid there. I don't think they have electric connections. You can't really dump your toilets in the parking lot. You know.
Remember we used to park the. Remember we used to have the RV down,
But we
used to
didn't
put us
stay
way
in
back.
it.
You're right. We didn't stay in it.
And not only that, yeah, we didn't stay in it, and it wasn't hooked up to anything.
True.
You're
You
just
just
like,
shit in Kevin's room.
yeah. He was right next door.
All hours.
I thought for sure French Lick had a RV parking lot, but it
They
may not
have
have
a-
connections.
They don't have connections.
Yeah.
And by the way, the old RV parking lot you're thinking of is now pickleball courts and a par 3 golf
Yeah.
course. So
Yeah,
Nice.
they changed a lot. But yeah, so I took 2 council people, and I took Scott and Kevin,
thank you.
and 2 council people, because obviously with SB1, I wanted all of us to go to classes and stuff like that and learn all kinds of stuff.
It's
And
definitely a discussion point down there.
And I also wanted to take everybody on a long hike. It was nice, Jill. It was a 6 mile.
glad I
I knew
wasn't
this hike.
invited.
I used to mountain bike this trail.
This is how we've aged. We used to go down and mountain bike this trail. Now we go down and hike the same
Yeah.
trail.
It was 6 miles. It is a cool little trail, though. It's
great.
like you walk up about 3 miles and you walk down about 3 miles. And
You appreciate it more when you're walking, right?
There's a locomotive.
I do.
Absolutely.
I
Actually,
took-
Tom said that. You
Yeah.
said that. You're like, isn't it weird we're walking this and you notice so much more when
yeah,
you're just...
because when you're on your mountain bike, you're literally looking right in front of your bike so you
Mm-hmm.
don't kill yourself. And then when you're walking, you get a chance to look around, and it's a gorgeous. I love that part of the
Great
state,
picture
man.
of Tom. He was in a great mood on the hike, and I
was.
love the fact that he wore some LOCPod gear. Thank
I
you.
wore the shirt that Jill made for us.
Very
and I wanted
nice.
Jill to see it, so I wear that. I love that shirt. It's a cool shirt, and it's comfortable, and it's perfect for a hike.
I also want to give kudos to Tom for being prepared. He brought the backpack with some stuff in it, with some
PB&J?
No, he didn't
It
do
wasn't
that.
that
It
long.
was
It was
What do
a-
you mean by
it was like
stuff?
3 hours.
Well,
I
he
know.
had a
marijuana.
He had a
of course.
No. He had a jacket. He had some water. He had some
I have
snacks.
to- It was a 3-hour hike, dude. I'm not going solo.
3 pounds of weed in his
Yeah, dude. Like, goddamn. I was 3 hours, John. What do you expect?
It's like, I better bring my backpack full of weed.
We might get stranded out here. I gotta have weed.
If we did, I was hooked up.
I was talking about the water and the stuff you brought for us, so that was nice of you, by the way.
Yes. I drove up and back with Councilman Werple, by the way.
Wow.
We talked a lot.
It's a lot of Whirlpool time.
We talked a lot of politics.
That is a lot of Warple time.
It is.
It was like on the way there.
It's like
we,
9
I'm not
hours.
even shitting. We talked politics for like 4.5 hours.
I could
Out
see
of the
that.
4.5
With you two,
hours.
Yeah, it's a 4.5 hour drive. We literally continuously talk. So then we're on the way home, and Warple's going hard for 2 hours, right? And I was like 2 hours in a drive, and I'm like, dude, like we've done 6.5 hours of political talk.
I'm just going to put the dead on
just
for a
fucking
while.
listen to music for a little? Like I'm fucking burned out here.
Yeah, how do you shut that down? You just said
Oh,
let's
he was
listen to some
nice
music.
about it. He was like,
Okay.
but he was ready to keep going. I mean, we did 6.5 hours of straight talk, and I was like, dude, I think I'm gonna fucking listen to the dead and chill for a little. So
We
yeah, it
should
was
have
a good-
set you up with like a live stream in your vehicle
Yeah.
and just stream that. It would have been an episode.
Yeah,
6
it would have
hour
been a good episode.
Six
yeah.
and a half hours of an episode, John.
By the way, I feel like a good boss. I'm like, we go to a convention and I'm like, all right, we're going for a hike. Everybody's like, and I warned everybody. By the way, we had 6 people because Sharon Daniels also had booked a room, so we had 6 people.
Sharon
and
had a presentation.
4 out of the 6, 4 out of the 6 jumped into the hike with me.
By
I'm-
choice?
No, I mean it was totally by choice. Like
Yeah.
Sharon had a presentation, and Warple was like, "Fuck that noise," because he was a walker when he was a mailman. And
Right.
I don't think he's walked 2 blocks since he retired. So,
He's much more happy on the rocking chair on the porch
Oh,
at the
yeah.
French Lick Resort. Yeah.
so
That's
like the 4 of us,
great.
Scott, Councilman Salinas, myself, and Kevin, we trekked around. What's it called? Buffalo Trace Trail.
Yeah, Buffalo Trace number 2, if you're looking it up on
Yeah,
All
it was really
Trails.
cool.
So,
But,
Named after the? Is that a whiskey? That's
No.
a brand. No, there is a brand of.
Buffalo
No,
Trace.
yeah, but you know what? I
Named
learned
what's named after what?
it's literally those trails were made by buffalo. Like buffalo, when we used to have buffalo in
Whoa.
Indiana, knocked down all the trees and everything, and then the Indians used the same trails that the buffalo always used. But all the bike trails and everything around French Lick were called Buffalo Trace because we were on one, and it was the same thing. Marissa told me that story.
thank you, Judge.
Marissa, I'm sure that Marissa researched it, or else I'm just spouting BS on the air. But
So
And you're blaming her for your BS.
no, I'm just saying I'm continuing the BS.
I believe Marissa, and
I believe her too,
think
for the
whiskey,
record.
the whiskey I think got named after the trails got named.
True
So,
story.
There you go, that
True
makes
story.
sense.
Yeah, what came first?
To answer your
Yeah.
question,
The company or the trails?
you know,
How
I was
old
gonna,
is the whiskey?
I was going to ask you, Tom. One of the things that I know at I almost said IAC. That was the former name of AIM.
Right.
But is there always have like a big like mayor's meeting? Did that
ICOM.
go down?
Yeah, the Indiana Conference of Mayors. We met, I think it was Tuesday morning, and yeah, it was
wait,
nice.
what's the name of that?
Conference of Mayors, Indiana.
No,
ICOM.
no, what was? Oh,
ICOM.
Okay.
Indiana Conference of Mayors.
I
yeah.
come.
That's
ICOM.
what I heard.
ICOM.
Indiana
Thank
Conference
you,
of
John.
Mayors.
That's what I heard.
Jeez.
Okay.
I'm
But,
saying
like,
it. I come.
There was mayors from all across
You
the
too?
country, all across the country, all across Indiana. There, it was a really well attended ICOM, and
Tom was at ICOM.
yeah, I was at Brandon Sackburn, Mayor Terre Haute was there.
Nice.
Angie
Great
Nelson
young
Deutsch, good region mayors were there. I don't think there was a lot of other people besides the 3 of us. Well, Brandon's not from the region, but Mayor Angie and myself. I'm trying to think. I think we were the only 2.
Mayor from Evansville, right? Oh,
No, I'm
region.
saying from the region.
Okay.
I think we're the only two there.
All right, good
from
representing.
the region.
Good job
Mayor
representing
and
219 then.
Mayor Angie and I are cool. We went to dinner. Angie and I got taken out to dinner. It was her team, me, and we were taken out to this super fancy. And I don't say that very often because I don't like long dinners. So like I volunteered to go because it was Angie and her
nice of
team.
you.
So like I knew it was gonna be a long dinner, 2.5 hours long.
Whoa.
Nope.
But I did it, and it was. I have to say,
It was not a Tom dinner.
It was pimp. I was totally like prepared. Like if I go into it knowing this is gonna be a long ass dinner, I did. I went into it like knew full well I'm gonna be here for a couple hours, and it was 2.5 hours, and it was like pimp. It was at West Baden, so I walked to West Baden from French Lick. And
nice
it was
little
a
stroll.
place called Table One. It's like in the kitchen. They made a table, so you go into the kitchen, and it's got glass all around you, and you just sit in there, and there's chefs running all over the place, cooks that are cooking.
Coming out to your table?
No, dude, they're like you're in the kitchen, so they're like running around the room. They're used to it being there, and you're just like watching them make your meal, basically make everybody's meal.
Very cool.
And you're like in the kitchen, so we had like the chef coming in and describing what they were making for us. It was really nice. So.
Good wine, hopefully.
It was good wine. I actually drank that night.
Nice.
As you know,
Yeah.
I try not to drink anymore, but that night I was like, my motto is if they're going to drink good wine, I should probably drink.
Agree.
Don't be drinking club soda. If they got like a good bottle of wine out, I'm going to partake.
The thing else I noticed on the way down, this time of year you're so used to the leaves turning, and they're not all the way. They're not really that turn that much.
They had.
yet.
I'm telling you, Kev. When I was in French Lake, it was warm when I was down there. It was cold at night, but it was.
You mean
warm.
with Marissa?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it was
all green.
75 to 80 during the day, and it was like 40s at night. So like, yeah, you could see they're starting to finally turn a little.
But they're not
bit.
like off the trees. Like it's not even
No, I
close
agree.
to dropping or anything. It was weird. Like this time of year, you're so used to like late October. You're used to Indiana being pretty well colored.
Everybody's saying we're going to have a
Fall
really bad
colored.
winter this year. Have you seen that, Joe?
I have seen
Farmer's Almanac says so.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
going to be cold. I guess there's a blob of hot moisture in the Pacific that's going to fuck everything up for us in the
Here it
Midwest.
comes.
Yeah.
Finally.
No, they're like, this is going to be a bad winter prediction. That's what the Farmer's Almanac, that's what TikTok's telling me.
All right. Well,
TikTok's never
I
wrong.
love winter.
No, TikTok's never wrong. It's still owned by the Chinese, but we're gonna.
No,
hopefully,
it's not.
Did they finally get that done?
Ellison bought it, dude.
Is it done though? Is it done? Is it absolutely?
Who
done
bought
yet?
It's a done deal.
It is, but
Ellison.
It's been sold.
The richest Jewish person in the world, I think.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah?
It's
Nice.
been sold. It's done.
Okay.
The algorithms changed already.
Hmm.
I see nothing about like
I want
the Middle East
story on
anymore.
Really?
Since Ellison bought it.
there's
Nothing.
I never really saw that much anyway.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys covered something on the last show I wanted to talk about today. Was George Santos, LOCPod's favorite felon, right? Released from prison.
Yeah.
Former-
Sentence was commuted.
LOCPod's favorite former congressman.
Yeah.
He's a fan of the show. And, like, you know, obviously we were all mortified when one of our biggest fans went to federal prison.
I wasn't mortified.
I was mortified.
I was more
'Cause
like
I
he
knew we
deserved
lost.
it.
We lost a regular listener, and I
Wow.
mean our listeners are like a half a dozen. So like one of them goes to prison. I don't think they let you listen to LOCPod in prison. So I was really worried that we lost George Santos.
Well,
but apparently he was listening.
we had originally had Congressman Santos, while he was still a congressman, do a little video for us.
Yeah, this was
This is his old
last
one.
January.
All right, so January
He
of
sent us a
25,
video.
pre-sentencing.
Pre-sentencing.
Hey, LOCPod, George Santos here. Just wanted to stop by to wish you guys congratulations on the success of your podcast. Indiana's most dangerous podcast with over 5 million unique downloads celebrating 30 seasons. That's why you guys are the #1 podcast in Europe, and you've received 2 Potties Award. Congratulations and keep up the hard work. Bye.
That's a good makeup job.
I think that was
Like
post.
whoever's doing Trump's makeup,
You know
take
what?
a page from that.
But like he's got his plump lips. He's
Right.
got makeup
Blended,
on.
Plump lips.
blended.
He does have
That's what
plump
Tom
lips. Look at his
notices
lips. I did, dude.
Why?
Because those are not normal lips for that. That is not a man's
It looks
lips.
like filler.
They look like exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He puts like collagen in there or something.
The eyebrows are filled in.
Compliments.
Good point.
It does
Very
have
nice
painful.
eyebrows.
Good job.
By the way, this is, I think, post getting kicked out of Congress by the Republican
It was.
majority and pre getting convicted.
That's true. He was in the I need to raise money because I
Yes.
got federal problems, right?
Yeah.
So this is Joe. Now we got another message from the former congressman, LOCPod's favorite
Yeah.
felon.
And by the
George-
way, kudos to our business manager for getting this so quickly.
dude, George Santos literally gets out of prison, And the first fucking thing he does is send LOCPod a message. So thank you. This is real, by the way. This is from George Santos. This is shortly after he got out of prison. Okay, here we go.
Well, hello. It's me, George Santos, and I just wanted to say hello, LOCPod. I know I've been a little busy for the past couple of months, but don't worry. I haven't missed a single episode of Left of Center. And congratulations on the continued success of the pod, the ongoing Poddy Awards, and of course for being the #1 rated show amongst my recent friends and I. Let's just say you've got a captive audience, not like they can go anywhere. Now,
Whoa.
if you'll excuse me, I'm off to give a TED Talk on brand management. Ta-da! Bye.
Dude,
Okay.
you have to give Steve props, right?
Very big props to our business manager for getting that. And by the way, we'd like to hope we're helping with his victims' restitution that he hopefully still owes after having his sentence commuted.
He does not.
Yeah, no, they're not going to make him pay that shit.
So he does not owe that? Are you sure?
It's correct. He does not, according to an article that Cantrell sent.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, all of his restitution.
That's bad.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it sucks.
Surprised?
That's bad. I mean, I'm surprised no, but that's bad.
A lot of the
I mean,
rest. How often do you donate to a politician and expect to get the money back, Kevin?
Well, you don't, but the fact that then he took your credit card and spent a bunch of other shit on your credit card, I think I would expect to get that done through restitution.
It's not going to, though, unfortunately, because Trump commuted everything.
Commuted his sentence.
And and the restitution.
Wow.
Daddy's
See,
next.
That sucks because.
Daddy's next.
And what about Maxine, or what's her name? Jelaine, if she gets it.
It's a comic.
Yes.
Dude, it doesn't matter. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. It doesn't matter. I mean, when are you guys going to get it through your heads? Donald Trump is the fucking king. He could do whatever he wants. There's nothing anybody could do about it because he's the president. He knocks down half the fucking White House. I mean, if I knocked down the Little Red Schoolhouse in Hammond, there would be more of an outrage than there is coming from the right, knocking down half the freaking White House.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I just think it's amazing that George Santos can get out of prison, start making videos for money, and get paid a bunch of money, and that money just goes right in his pocket. Doesn't go.
And
to
he's
his,
doing a
doesn't
TED
go
Talk
to his
already.
restitution.
I
Doesn't
know.
go to restitution.
Hey, he's one of our fans. Don't be dissing him.
Yeah. We got to.
This isn't. We can't solve all the problems in the world. Yeah. You know, George Santos. Thank you for being a fan. And apparently, we have a lot of prisoner fans. I like that.
I don't like that.
If you're in prison,
Oh my God, let's
what
go
the
to
hell else are they going to do? They want to listen to our show.
I'd rather
We
just
should
have
do a
our
pop-up
regular
at the
old
prison.
listeners.
Pop up at the prison.
Pop
There
up.
you go.
I
Like Johnny
it.
Cash.
Yeah. Folsom. LOCPod live from Folsom.
Like from Folsom Prison.
Get on that, Steve. LOCPod live from Folsom Prison. I like it.
Lord, no thank you.
I love it.
You blend right in that hoodie.
Yes.
Oh yeah, my skeleton hoodie.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But yeah, talking about rehabbing the White House. I mean, I'm not like horribly offended by it, but like I am. It's a total double standard. If I did half of that to Hammond City Hall, people would lose their freaking minds in Hammond, and I would be totally accountable, and I would be getting lit up by the media. And if I did that to Hammond City Hall, it was built in the 1940s, about the same time period, by the way.
So I looked into this. The East Wing actually was built in 1901, and then the second floor was built in the 40s to cover up the bunker for FDR and those folks during World War II.
Okay.
So it was actually 1901 or 02. And I guess the only thing I'd say is, look, at least like have some consulting with historic folks to say like, hey, let's do this, let's do that, instead of like, let's bust it all down and not preserve a thing, and just you get to build your gilded ballroom.
That's the thing that's out of touch. I mean, okay, as Democrats, though, a lot of us revere like Mayor Daley and how he ran Chicago back in the day, right? And Mayor Daley, when he wanted Meeks Field, he didn't. You know, I'm not talking. I'm talking
I mean,
Mayor
it's a
Daley
runway.
Jr. Okay,
It's
but
a piece
like,
of asphalt.
yeah,
Yes.
but they went out there and he like nixed it, and he like wiped out all the landing strips and made it impossible for the planes to leave, and he took it by force overnight, and everybody was like, "What the hell?" Right? And now it's a beautiful concert venue. It's a green space.
Sure.
Right?
It's a little different than the People's House, and like,
I agree, but it was the people's airport, so to speak.
and
I mean,
not
Kevin,
really. It was
like,
like private. It was a private jet airport. It wasn't
Trump
like,
could do whatever he wants, dude.
Well, he is.
He is.
Yeah.
I know. He can do whatever he wants. I mean, when are we going to get over the fact he's a dictator? He is the king of the country.
If you don't respect the democracy and the republic that has been built over 250 years, then
He doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you don't
But like
respect
the
it,
people that I'm pissed at are these freaking fools that we're surrounded by that are just MAGA, to the core, and they're like Donald Trump could do no wrong. Those are the people that bug the shit out of me.
I agree, and they can't admit that what's happening is denigrating our democracy and our republic,
Whatever,
and
dude.
the Constitution.
In 1 year, we're gonna wipe out Congress. In 1 year, we're gonna get honestly the Republican Party is going to suffer massive defeats in 1 year. Massive.
Are you at all concerned that the redistricting in like North Carolina, Texas, and other places is going to offset that?
No.
Because I am.
No.
No, good. I hope you're.
No. I think you're going to see a massive blue wave next year.
I hope you're
like
right.
the biggest blue wave we've ever seen. I'm telling you, man. I'm a 56-year-old man, okay? I've been alive 56 years. I've been paying attention most of my life to politics. I've never seen the anger that I see in the country right now. There is palpable anger, and it's scary a little bit because people are dying. By the way,
Yep.
It's scary because the anger gets irrational sometimes. But in 1 year, when people could actually channel that anger to the voting booth, they're going to massively vote against the Republican Party and all these freaking brown nosers and all these. Did you see Gavin Newsom came out with Donald Trump knee pads for the GOP? Donald Trump signed knee pads. I love it, dude. It's so perfect.
So funny.
It's like all these suckers. All these suckers that get on their knees and they just suck the orange man.
Yeah, I thought John, I thought you guys had a good conversation last episode with you and Matt. I think about like the 7 million people that had the No Kings, and somebody, I think you said or Matt said, like these aren't just all Democrats. I mean, I think you think like some people watch and think, oh, it's just all Democrats. I think there's some anger towards what's happening in the Republican Party by people that have voted Republican.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest qualm, the more I think about this ballroom, is the optics. Like, we can be told all day long by Trump that the economy's great, it's so hot. It's not. And it just doesn't look good that they're building this ballroom to have big parties in. And all these corporations are donating to build it. That list has come out now.
Agreed.
It looks terrible when people can't even afford to, like, just keep their nose above the water.
Well, and like benefits are getting threatened and things like that.
It's let them eat cake. It's literally let them eat cake.
Tom.
Yeah.
We're
Really
sitting
good
there. We're like suffering down here, and he's
Rome
building
is
a
burning.
freaking ballroom.
Yeah.
I want
Tom,
the most
so
opulent
good.
ballroom. It is the ultimate let them eat cake. This guy's so out of touch.
You're so right on
I
that.
want to have nice balls here at the White House, right?
Yes.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to look nice. Jill sent that AI around. Maybe we'll play that. Oh, here we go.
Knee pads that I'll be sending out, the new signature series knee pads for all these CEOs, for the University of Virginia that I'll add to the list today, for bending their knee, for those law firms, the universities, media companies, as this guy's rolling back, rewriting history, putting us back to a pre-1960s world, censoring historic facts.
And their knee pads with Donald Trump's signature on it.
Yeah.
They're great. I love it,
get
man. Yeah, you have to say, man, Gavin Newsom's social media team is freaking A+.
I just like the
A
fact.
plus.
Agreed. And I just like the fact that he's hitting back so hard. That's what needs to happen. So
It's like, I mean, I'm sitting over here and I'm analyzing who I'm going to end up supporting in the next election, and I hear a lot of the people from California that just hate Gavin Newsom. Yeah, Kevin's brother is frustrated with him. My friends that are Democrats, they don't like him, right? So I go home to California and I hear all these people that can't stand their governor, and then I'm out here like watching him, and I'm like, this guy's awesome.
He's fighting.
He's fighting back, and then it's just every other Democrat out there that's trying to emulate what Gavin Newsom's doing is failing, in my opinion. Gavin Newsom is clearly the front runner right now.
yeah,
right now.
without a doubt.
Yeah,
not
clearly.
even close second.
Yeah. And speaking of the No Kings protest, I also thought this was interesting because there were 7 million people that showed up for the No Kings protesters, right?
It's awesome.
And then, of course, Trump, AI is the new thing in politics. We get to do all these crazy AI videos and AI pictures, and you don't know. John said it on the last show. You don't know what's real anymore. You see something, and you have to check, like, the comments.
Yeah.
Like, I literally check the comments all the time now, and they're like, AI, this is AI. And it's like, so Trump comes out last week after the No Kings protest, and 7 million people in the country showed up to protest Donald Trump, right? That's obviously should be concerning to these suckers in the Republican Party. I say suckers, on dangerous ground. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But Trump comes out with an AI-generated video that has him in a fighter jet. That would never happen because he was a coward and he never joined the military. But now he's a big, strong fighter jet pilot dropping shit on the No Kings protesters, literally flying over the protests, and his fighter jet is dropping feces on the American people. 7 million of them.
This is an interesting title of this video. Trump posts bizarre AI video of himself in a crown dumping shit onto America.
This is, I mean, honestly, this is how he feels about us, about his subjects, so to speak. So he's in a fighter jet. The fighter jet's got just piles of shit rolling out right onto the American public.
Yeah, the people that he is the president of. Yeah. So weird.
It's not weird, dude. It's just disrespectful. It's like he doesn't respect. He certainly doesn't respect us in this studio. I mean, John, he maybe respect John, but like, like the three of us, he wants to shit on me.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It's just weird that our president.
And like, honestly, I'm going to start taking it out. The only thing I could do, because you know what, Kevin, we have like local Republicans that are like, everybody's like, no, this local Republican's a good guy. You know, you shouldn't vote against him automatically because he's one of the good ones, you know? Fuck that. There ain't no good ones anymore. Republicans, there ain't no good ones anymore. You support this, you're my enemy politically. John, I'm talking politics, man. I can't like just excuse a super nice senator like, oh, he's super nice, dude. He's a Republican, but he's a good one. No.
Oh, I gotta say though.
But what about like
the
Massey?
people? I was gonna say Massey.
You know,
like you see some people with backbone, and those are the guys. I mean, I don't necessarily say I would vote for them because I think just maybe politically we don't agree, but I respect the people that are pushing back,
Kevin,
and they have to.
How? Yeah.
You got Massey and Rand. I mean, and he goes after him.
I'm talking locally.
Yeah, you know, I get it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I appreciate people that are pushing back.
I'm gonna freaking rock worlds next year during politics. I am gonna rock worlds next year. We have to. We all have to get out there and do our thing. And I'm gonna go out there. I'm already part of it. Obviously I'm working with Jason Gore.
Yeah.
And it's cool because I get to go out and campaign with Jason, and I'm getting around.
You like that?
I do like that.
Yeah,
it's nice because I'm not running, right?
Yeah,
so I get to
true
go
too.
out with Jason, and I get to talk to people about Jason. It's great, man.
Yeah.
I
You
love
like
it.
the hype man?
I am like the hype man for the
see.
guy, and he's a good guy to hype, man. He's got a great record. I'm going to get him on LOCPod soon. Okay?
Good.
ASAP.
Yeah, get him on.
Hey, by the way, so we already did the whole thing about Trump wants to shit on us. I think it's ironic coming from a guy with golden shower tapes in Russia. It's,
Allegedly.
this guy, alleged golden shower tapes, that Putin's holding over his head. He wants to shit on us. So this guy's got issues, obviously, with potty functions and sex. So,
Jeez, oh man.
so I want to update everybody. I was wrong my last show.
Uh-oh.
When I came out and I said Kiss was from Cadillac, Michigan.
Oh, I remember you when you said that.
So I get off the show, and LOCPod, we have crazy fans that like immediately get a hold of me as soon as I walk off. They're like, "You're wrong. Kiss is not from Cadillac,
That's
Michigan.
funny.
You need to retract everything you said on the air." So I was like, I got multiple people that hit me. LOCPodders, I'm talking to you,
And Kiss fans.
and Kiss fans. So LOCPod and Kiss, there must be some type of correlation. So in the last show, I incorrectly stated the band Kiss was from Cadillac, Michigan. It was pointed out to me after the show that I was incorrect. Here's the story of Kiss's connection to Cadillac, Michigan. This will just take a couple seconds. It's 1975. Kiss is climbing the charts. The makeup's loud. The guitars are louder. Cadillac, Michigan, 10,000 people. A high school football team decides they're turning their losing season around with Kiss. So the coaches... This is a bad team. They start blasting Kiss in the locker room before games, right? The players get all fired up. They go on a winning streak and finish the season strong, all right? So the coach, he's like, dude, Kiss completely turned our season around. So the football coach, right from Cadillac, Michigan, writes to Kiss and says, you guys turned our whole season around.
I'm trying to think like 75 Kiss. So Tom and I are like 6. And by the way, like if you're anywhere near my and Tom's age, Kiss is a big... you remember Kiss in your childhood.
In 1975, they're at their peak. It's like Taylor Swift is right now. Kiss is in 1975 America.
Wow.
Okay,
They're that big.
Oh, huge.
John, they had a TV show. They
Like
had
cartoons.
I was a Kiss fan, and I had like little Kiss action figures and
Remember
stuff.
those?
It was huge. And the makeup, it was just the whole thing.
The albums.
It was a phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
So the coach writes to Kiss and says, hey, you turned our season around, right? And the Kiss writes back, and they don't just say thanks to the coach. They say, hey, we're coming to Cadillac, Michigan, right? And so like on a chilly October morning, Kiss in a helicopter lands right in the high school football field in full makeup with fire-breathing, blood-spitting, platform-wearing Kiss, surrounded by cheerleaders and band kids of all kinds. And, there's Gene Simmons. Everybody's wearing makeup. Gene later said it was like landing on another planet, except this one had football players in Kiss makeup.
I got a picture of that. Look at that.
These are actual pictures.
This is
From
actual
that.
pictures of KISS in
1975
the
Cadillac,
high school.
Michigan.
They're surrounded by all the KISS students. This is them going down the street in Cadillac, Michigan on a parade. That's like the biggest band in the world in small little Cadillac. This is them with the high school marching band walking around,
Gene
right?
Simmons is playing a tuba. Or maybe it's a...
So for that day, Cadillac, Michigan was the center of the rock and roll universe. And honestly, that's the dead truth. So today, there's even a KISS monument at the stadium. This is what I told you about. That's what Marissa and I ran across. When the band came back for the 40th anniversary, Paul Stanley looked out at the same little town and said, 40 years later, Cadillac still rocks harder than most of the cities that have ever played. So yeah, forget Detroit Rock City. For one crazy weekend in 1975, Cadillac, Michigan was the loudest town in America, only in the Midwest, baby.
And by the way, remember, KISS actually played the Hammond Civic Center.
Yeah.
So they've been to Hammond, too.
So where are
kinda
they
cool.
actually from?
Good question. I was wrong.
Tom's research didn't...
Definitely not Cadillac.
maybe it's Detroit.
I'm going to say Detroit.
It's got to be, right? Detroit Rock City?
I don't know.
Whoa, New York.
New York. Wow.
They totally hijacked
no
Michigan.
kidding.
Good for them.
Good for them. But they were huge. So anybody that's our age would tell you it's the equivalent of Taylor Swift going to play at high school. Can you imagine that?
Crazy.
How crazy that would be. That was KISS in Cadillac, Michigan.
Thanks for the update and the
Thank
correction.
you. Sorry about being wrong.
I'd say this was great, though, because we got the full story.
We did get the full story.
Let's do some ads and come back. We're going to talk about redistricting. We've also going to talk about this gambling poker crazy scandal that's been rocking the NBA since yesterday. 30 people arrested. So
30 people. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's start off with Powering Indiana, Lake County, our premier and studio sponsor. Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's most trusted electricians. At Powering Indiana, Lake County, we set the standard for excellence in electrical work. As IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors, they ensure safety, reliability, and quality for Northwest Indiana corporations, businesses, and homes. But their mission goes beyond the job site. They're creating a brighter future for the region they proudly serve. Powering Indiana, Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community. Find the right electrical contractor at poweringindiana.org.
Are you facing legal challenges and don't know where to turn? Look no further than Kuklakis Law, your trusted source for legal advice in Indiana and Illinois. Do you need representation buying or selling real estate? Call Kuklakis Law. Do you need help forming your business? Call Kuklakis Law. Did you get injured in a car crash or at your job? Call Kuklakis Law. No matter what your legal issue, call 219-671-6347 for a free consultation. Who are you going to call? Kuklakis. Hablamos Español.
The branding room floor. Don't let your business get lost in the shuffle of generic branding and aimless marketing. Trust Northwest Indiana's award-winning, full-service marketing agency, The Branding Room Floor. Providing data-driven results to help your business grow in a crowded market is their specialty. From website development and digital advertising to graphic design and branding, the Branding Room Floor will set your business or organization on a clear path to strategic success. Don't wait another day to get started. Visit thebrandingroomfloor.com today.
Cantrell and Cantrell, attorneys at law. Are you injured? Are you in trouble with the law? If so, give Cantrell and Cantrell a call and schedule your consultation with somebody who's in the court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife, Kristen, make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
For decades, the Ron J. Prestomer Insurance Agency has been located right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. The Prestomer Agency specializes in a wide range of insurance products and services, including home, auto, business, life, and much more. The Prestomer Agency serves thousands of people and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you.
All right.
Thanks to our sponsors. Glenn Studio sponsor, Powering Indiana, Lake County.
All right, Kev.
Cold as fuck.
So, is it really? I'm not
My
cold.
hands are
You'd
freezing.
save so much money, Kevin, if you didn't.
Moving
turn
around. All right, I'll crank it up next time.
That's why I wear my sweaters in here. So.
I have a jacket on.
And you're cold, right?
It's
Okay.
I
don't
have
know
a
if it's just
t-shirt on and
blowing
I'm
on
not
this.
cold.
Who has an air conditioner on 66 this time of year?
It
Not
was
a-
the
not a
heat.
po- not
the
a
heat
Pollock.
was on 66.
I
Heat on 66, not air conditioning on 66.
Okay.
That would be chilly.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll crank it up to 67.5 next time. John.
You sound like an old man.
I know, dude.
When I was a young man, when I was a kid,
I hate NIPSCO, though, so
Yeah, we're trying to keep it
I own
down.
NIPSCO socks.
I do
so
too.
I should shut up.
So I do too. Yes, revenues will be up. So this is, obviously there is a lot of talk about redistricting, and out of the blue, I thought over the weekend, our former governor, Mitch Daniels, who Tom knows and has
he's great.
shared meetings with. I've been with you in his office.
Governor Mitch was hardcore
fiscal conservative.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go. Hardcore fiscal conservative.
Yes, didn't care about social issues.
Reagan, Republican. He actually, when he was governor, said, warned the General Assembly, stay out of social issues.
Yeah.
Let's stay out of social issues as a party, and it will keep on, we'll stay in power. And by the way, words of wisdom, I wish somebody in the Democratic Party would have breathed into our party, because we jumped right into the social wars, and we're still paying the price.
Well, and we should have learned our lessons from somebody like Mike Pence, who, when he was governor, was going to lose re-election most likely in 2016 until he got picked up by, President Trump, and then almost hanged on the,
So Mitch
January
Daniels,
6th, but that's a whole other story.
Mitch Daniels does 2 terms as Indiana's governor, and then gets the gig at Purdue
As president.
and then becomes president of Purdue. Does at least 5 or 6 years as president of Purdue, and I think most people, Republican and Democratic alike, that are Purdue alumni, their kids are going to Purdue, would tell you that Mitch Daniels completely transformed that university when he was the president there.
Yeah, and like him or
He's
not,
got Mitch Daniels Boulevard right through the heart, through the heart of the campus.
like him or not like him, I guess I would describe him as a Republican that probably in today's world may not even get elected because he's not far right enough.
He's like, my dad and Mitch were friends. My dad and Mitch knew each other from back in the day. And my dad is a lot like Mitch with his politics. And I think both of them would fail badly if they decided to run for office in the current GOP.
Remember, Mitch kind of gained, I should say, Governor Daniels gained fame in the Bush White House, the first Bush White House, as the Blade was his nickname, because he was head of the Office of Management and Budget, and he would slash things, right?
Oh,
That's
wow.
a good nickname.
It is. Yeah.
That's a good one.
He was the Blade when he came to Indiana. And then he jumps into an RV at the time, and he drives across the state, and he lets everybody write their name on the RV and write messages to him. And it was a good shtick at the time. It really stuck. And by the time that RV comes rolling in, and shortly before November, it was covered with Hoosier signatures, and he was like this folksy, and by the way, he's a very wealthy man, but he comes out of this RV like, hey folks, what's going on? And he just rode
a motorcycle, he wore some flannel. And by the way, just to give you perspective on how good that campaign was, Barack Obama won Indiana in 2008, and the Democratic gubernatorial candidate at the time, Jill Long Thompson, was defeated by Mitch Daniels. Right. So you had a Democratic president, which, obviously Democrats don't win Indiana presidential-wise very often. You only have Johnson and then Obama, and then Governor Daniels won that election on the Republican side in that year. So
Mitch is revered in the Republican Party in Indiana. He's sort of like the godfather of the Republican. You would think of him like, when Mitch Daniels says something, I think that would have a lot of impact on the General Assembly.
I agree with you.
I think a lot of in the GOP would be like the wise former governor. We should listen to him,
especially the older guys and the men and women that are in the state house.
I'm just not sure if that's the case anymore. Though,
I agree with you.
Honest with you, because these guys are so out there. The Republican supermajority is just so whacked out.
It's changed so much.
People like Micah, Micah Beckwith, who's just nuts, and then you got the governor, who's a freaking.
So what happened is, and as everybody knows, there's a lot of pressure on Indiana Republicans, Governor Braun, the president of the Senate, the Speaker of the House, to call a special session and redistrict Indiana, which currently has a 7-2 majority in Congress in the House, where 7 Republicans represent the state and 2 Democrats represent the state. 2 Democrats are in Indianapolis, Congressman Andre Carson, and up here by us, northwest corner, by Congressman Ravan. And out of the blue, over the weekend, former Governor Daniels comes out and writes an opinion in the Washington Post, says, fellow Republicans, fellow Hoosiers, redistricting now is a bad idea. So kind of like, whoa, all right. And he even starts out by saying, I've kept almost entirely quiet about matters of partisan politics ever since leaving elective office more than a dozen years ago. But watching the national drive to redraw congressional district lines mid-decade prompts a temporary departure from my bleacher seat. And he goes on to say that his home state of Indiana is on the National Republican target list for new lines as part of a quest to ensure continued control of the House. While the outcome sought is one I support, the tactic being employed to get there is not. And I hope earnestly that my state's leaders will politely decline to participate. So he goes on and on. It's really interesting. He brings up the point that, J.D. Vance has been to town, what a plausible rationale for a do-over is and why that shouldn't actually happen, why he talks about the maps that were drawn 4 years ago were drawn by Republicans, or 5 years ago were drawn by Republicans and were accepted as a fair map. and that he believes that the districts are currently drawn compact and respect county lines, which is a big deal for people that actually care about drawing, congressional maps.
He finishes. I don't underestimate. This is the conclusion.
This is great.
I don't underestimate the pressure Indiana leaders are under, and I empathize with them in the predicament they face. But I hope they'll quietly and respectfully pass on this idea. Their duty is to the citizens and the future of our state, and not to a national political organization or a temporary occupant of the White House. And doing the right thing, by the way, really would be its own reward. Temporary occupant of the White House.
I think you could see within that opinion, he's taking some shots.
Yeah.
And reminding, I think,
It's
Indiana
true.
Republicans where they're, that you got to respect the state of Indiana.
If you follow the Constitution, Donald Trump will be out of office in 3 years. If we're following the United States Constitution, MAGA, that's what the Constitution says, MAGA.
Mm-hmm.
So, like in 3 years, this guy's gone. In 1 year, he's going to be checked by a brand new Congress that's going to kick his ass and start investigations, and they should, by the way.
Or you're going to see some authoritarian stuff that you've probably never seen or never thought you'd see in America.
Then it's Civil War. Bub.
Yeah, we got
then it's
problems.
Civil War.
Well, here we're going to play probably next Tuesday. I found a clip. Steve Bannon just came out and said everybody needs to start to get used to the fact that Donald Trump's going to be president in 2028.
It's Civil War, buddy.
It's crazy.
That's Civil War. That's time to get the guns.
Well,
It is,
I hope
man.
not.
It's time to get the guns. In that case, it's time to get the guns because they're just making the rules up. That's Civil War, Kevin.
Yeah, I hope
We
don't
all
get to that.
we're supposed to all follow the rules here. We're supposed to follow the United States Constitution, the backbone of our government, right? It's clear. Donald Trump is not going to be the president in 2028 legally. If you want to
Bend
circumvent
rules
the Constitution, that's Civil
and
War.
read the Constitution some wacky
grab your
way.
guns. Grab your guns. If they're going to start that shit, grab your guns.
Well,
I hate to say it,
I hope we
man.
don't get to that, but
Kevin, that's what Steve Bannon is literally saying. We're going to violate the Constitution in 3 years.
and it's weird. I can't wait to play that clip next week because it's a weird clip. It freaked me out a little bit. I was like, whoa, they're not joking around. Like they're already making plans.
Hey, Mitch Daniels specifically talked about Northwest Indiana.
Yeah.
In his,
Did he?
I'm gonna
Yes.
read this line for you. So this is what he had to say about Northwest Indiana's Democrat congressional district. The attempt, which might not even work, would, I'm convinced, come at the expense of public disgust. Hoosiers, like most Americans, place a high value on fairness and react badly to its naked violation.
Yep.
If you guys haven't, so I finally just read this in its entirety because it was behind a paywall for me. But just an observation, like if you guys can read this thing in full, this was a breath of fresh air to read.
Yeah.
It was incredibly well written. The grammar actually, I loved it. This is not like what
You can
you
tell he
read from
wrote it.
Beckwith today. Like this makes me miss Mitch Daniels. Like you don't read this stuff from today's politicians. Everything's a tweet. Everything's a meme. This was not. This was a little bit more long form.
Well, he's a former
And
president.
it was really
of the
nice.
university. No, Mitch is a smart
And
guy.
well thought out. And
Yeah.
you could tell he wrote it. I mean, just reading it, it reminded me of him. You
Really?
could almost hear him talking. Yeah,
Okay,
for sure,
interesting.
when I read it.
By
So-
the way, Governor Braun, after this, tweets out, I am still having positive conversations with members of the legislature. I am confident the majority of the Indiana State House Republicans will support efforts to ensure fair representation in Congress for every Hoosier.
how does that even make sense? Fair representation in Congress for every Hoosier.
Right.
How am I?
He's full of shit. He's a fucking liar.
How does that even make sense?
That's my Governor Braun voice. I don't know if you picked that up.
I
Is that
noticed
how
it
he
was
sounds?
no.
I am still
like it.
having positive conversations with members of the legislature. He is a fool.
And so the rumors out there, and probably not rumors anymore based on what we're going to talk about next, is that the Senate, Indiana Senate, is what's giving pushback, right? And so then you have Micah Beckwith writes this letter, which I was like, whoa, okay. And this is right out of the letter. The people of Indiana did not elect a Republican supermajority so our Senate could cower, compromise, or collapse at the very moment courage is required. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he says, history will not remember those who stepped aside when action was necessary. Hoosiers are demanding warriors, which I found to be a little bit funny, so their voice is heard. If we will not fight now for our state, our children, and our country, what exactly are we here for?
Hoosiers are not demanding warriors.
I agree.
No, I mean,
Whoever, I've never heard
What?
one Hoosier wants like to be able to just afford to like live a decent life.
Right.
Like that's when I think of Hoosiers.
Midwest
right?
values,
Yeah.
stay out of my business.
I've never heard a Hoosier be like, let's go to war.
Right.
Like what?
It's funny, too. These guys all talk like they're big, tough, strong warriors, you know? Micah didn't serve in the military. Braun didn't serve in the military. They use military references all the time. It's offensive, man.
And this was another thing, Tom, that he wrote, and this is just like it just puts it out there. I'm calling on my Republican colleagues in the Indiana Senate to find your backbone, to remember who sent you here, and to reclaim Indiana's rightful voice in Congress by drawing a 9-0 map.
I'm not surprised to read that. This is a guy who hijacked the lieutenant governorship election, right?
At the convention.
Caucus.
Send that man some knee pads.
I love those.
We are not elected to fail. We are elected to show up and speak on behalf of our constituents. We are not elected to surrender preemptively. We are elected to fight. Ay, ay, ay.
So anyway, so here we are. So if you believe what we read the other day, the Indiana Senate came out and said, the leader of the Senate, I think it was Roderick Bray, was it?
Senator Bray.
Came out and said the votes aren't there for redistricting. Leave us alone, basically, right?
Yeah.
The president is jumped into this. The vice president's jumped into this. The votes aren't there. If we held a special session right now on this issue, there's not enough votes to change the maps in the Indiana Senate. Which in the Indiana Senate, it's a super
incredible.
majority. It's a super majority of Republicans. So they can't. So they have so many Republican senators defecting on this issue that they can't get a majority.
So just to put that in perspective, the current status of the Indiana Senate, there's 50 seats. I believe it's 39-11.
Yes.
So if it's 39-11, that means
They need
that
26 votes.
Yeah, that means that 15. They don't have 15. 15 senators would vote against it.
Right.
That
They're
are Republican.
defecting. 15 Republican
Of the
senators
39.
are defecting right now, right?
At least.
There you go, Mr. Trump. There's your power base in Indiana. They're bailing on you, right?
I'm sure they're worried about their own races, or at least
They
about
are.
other redistricting.
They're worried
I mean,
about their own ass because I think Mitch Daniels is right. You guys do this, you'll get your districts where you should have a 9-0 vote, and you watch what happens because Hoosiers are going to be pissed.
I agree with you,
and they're going to take it out.
Hoosiers are pragmatic, I think, for the most part. People in Indiana are pragmatic, and they get when they're getting screwed with. Man.
I tell you what, this is what I think is going to happen. My prediction.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready. Oh, this is exciting. We need the news flash.
I think this is what's going to happen. They're going to call a special session on redistricting, and they're going to force those 15 senators to go on the record and say, I'm against it.
Wow.
Because it's going to be a lot different. It's a lot easier when you're in a back room and you're like, nope, screw the president, right? But if they call a special session and your name and, that red light and that green light is next to your name up on the board, and you put a red light up there and you're supposed to put a green light, because, these Indiana senators, they're not supposed to have your own independent mind. You're supposed to be a good freaking rubber stamp for the president and for the governor, right? So if you actually want to have a will and actually represent your constituents, they're going to punish you for it.
No, you're going to get a primary.
You will. You're going to have to put that red light next to your name up there, and then they're going to primary your ass because you're not a good little rubber stamp like
So
you're
you
supposed
think
to
the
be.
governor will basically put him on the spot?
Yes, I
Wow.
do. And then it's going to be a lot harder for those 15 to say no, because they know if I put that red light next to my name, I got trouble.
So it's going to pass.
No, I'm not saying it's going
I
to pass. I'm saying that they're going to call a special session. That's my prediction. Okay, and I hope I'm on the record at LOCPod. There will be a special session on this issue, and I'm not saying it's going to pass or it's not, but it's going to be a lot harder for those 15 to screw with the president.
Well, and here's one more warning from Micah Beckwith. I had to read this part. Indiana should be leading the nation, not apologizing for being a strong conservative state, while radical Democrat Marxists wage war on our Constitution, our children, and the future of the Republic. Washington is being overrun by an anti-American agenda, and instead of joining President Trump in reclaiming our voice, too many in our own Senate choose the path of weakness and political convenience.
He's the president of the Senate as the lieutenant governor, by the way. So, he literally is the head of the Senate during session. That's going to go well with your senators, your fellow senators there, lieutenant governor.
They love that, I bet. Mm-hmm.
Do you think he'd come on this show, Micah?
I don't know.
I think he would.
Probably would.
Because he doesn't give a shit about the governor. He doesn't give a shit about pissing off the governor. I mean, we could probably come on. He'd probably come on our show and he'd talk shit about Governor Brown. Which would be so funny. That would be so awesome. We got to do it, man.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I mean, he's definitely not afraid. I wouldn't mind having him on.
You have to read this stuff, like when I'm reading this Micah Beckwith letter, you have to read it through the lens that he wants to be more.
Without a doubt, John.
And when I read other
He wants
tweets
to be the governor,
from
bro.
local folks, I won't say who, but they want to be the next Republican congressman of this district. So you have to read everything through that lens. It's not necessarily that they believe
That's a
this
good point,
stuff.
John.
Right.
They just want to be more.
Yeah,
than
like
they are
Randy
now.
Niemeyer.
Well,
I'm not saying any.
So,
No, I am.
Okay.
Hold on, Kev.
Yeah, sure.
Randy, just continuing John's point.
Yeah.
Randy Niemeyer comes out a couple weeks ago and says redistricting is super important right now.
But why is he saying that? Because
Of course, he's saying it because he wants to run in that district because he'll actually have a chance to win. Exactly, John.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. That's why it was such bullshit when I read it. I'm like, you're such a fool, Randy. You think people can't see through your bullshit?
And when you ran, couldn't win in the district.
Look, he
When
can't
ran
win in
last
the
time.
district, and it's not an impossible district for Republicans as is, right? But he's like, if you actually rig it so it's R plus 15, maybe my dumb ass will have a chance to win, right? But if it's this current format, Randy has no chance in hell, and he knows it, right? So he's like, yeah, redistricting is important because then I actually have a chance to win, right?
And looking
Perfect
at
point, John.
And looking at Micah Beckwith, I think in the same lens, what you're saying, John, is either number one, he wants to be governor, or two, he's like, if I can't be governor, I want Trump to pick me up and do something in Washington.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
He'd fit right in.
Yep.
All right, there you go.
There's
Let's,
our redistricting update.
Let's do some ads, and when we come back, we're going to try to nibble on this NBA scandal.
It's deep, man. It is like, I was reading it. I was like, Tom, make sure you got to get
I
up to
did.
speed on
I
this because
did.
it's
I
like,
got up to
whoa,
speed.
man.
It's got the freaking mob involved. It's got NBA players,
Crazy
coaches, Hall of
computers.
Famers.
Yes.
It's like crazy poker games. Good shit. So
Anything
stick
but
around.
the Epstein files.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Just don't say the Epstein files.
No.
All right, let's go. Cover up. Calumet Brewing. It's not about the miles you ran, the perfect score, or even the final victory. It's about the joy in the journey, the high fives after a friendly game, the feeling of accomplishment, the shared laughter. That's the moment worth toasting. With only 95 calories and 2.6 carbs, Michelob Ultra is the refreshing, crisp reward that makes the moment better. Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Head over to the Cal Brew or the Michelob Ultra websites and social media pages for more info on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Michelob Ultra lifestyle with beers, and cheers responsibly.
You didn't point at me, Kevin.
Oh, pointing at you.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón.
There they are. Missed those. Misprint Printing. Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a 30-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team led by Rick Baltensberger combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing and metal business cards, always on time and within budget. Conveniently located in Munster and Hammond, Misprint is your partner for creating impactful visual solutions that leave a lasting impression. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today.
MCR Partners is your one-stop destination for top-notch expertise in economic development, finance, and planning. With a dedicated team geared up to tackle your projects head-on, they're your go-to comprehensive solution providers. Dive into the world of economic development with MCR Partners and let them guide you through the maze of opportunities. Stay in the loop and connected by hitting up their website at mcrpartnersllc.com for tailored assistance. Don't hesitate to reach out to Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious taproom and outdoor patio serving its award-winning craft beer, a chef-driven food menu, and craft cocktails on draft. Their brewing equipment and production facility offer a unique backdrop for events like bridal showers, reunions, or corporate parties. With their new food truck, they can cater to your corporate and private events off-site, just off 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Discover more at bywaybrewing.beer.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Including our studio sponsor, Power in Indiana, Lake County.
All right, we got a gambling scandal. It's the NBA, I think, has got serious issues personally. I don't watch it. I'm not interested in it. I don't really watch basketball, but the NBA in particular just doesn't interest me at all, and I don't think this scandal is good for them at all, especially in regards to sports betting.
Yeah, it's not good from a PR perspective. I do enjoy the NBA. I'm wishing upon probably – it's not going to happen, but the Bulls are going to probably blow this year, but that's okay.
I heard their over-under is like 33 or something like
whoa.
that. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. That's not good.
Yeah.
I don't think I would.
Out of what,
82?
82 games?
Yeah. But this is something crazy, as Tom pointed out. I mean, this is like something out of a mob movie, really. X-ray tables, hidden cameras, pre-marked cards, and the yes. And it's so there's two aspects of this. One's like a poker, which we're going to get into the poker thing, and there's also a sports betting aspect of it too.
And the mob is behind all of it.
Yeah, think about that. Like they listed the following. They said La Cosa Nostra, known mafia families, include members of the Bonanno, Gambino, Lucchese, and Genovese crime families.
Wow.
Yes. Think about that.
I know. So and they're using popular sports betting apps that we all use. Well,
Yeah.
I don't for the record. But like a lot of people use these gambling apps, and so there's like prop bets on like if you're a player, like Rozier is one of the players charged, right?
He is one of the few players. I think the only player charged in this part of it. There's two players charged in the sports betting aspect of it.
And on TikTok, I was, I don't watch NBA. I said that already. But there was a game in particular where there was an unusual amount of activity being bet on him to not score a certain amount of points, right? It was
Correct.
a prop bet. And he basically had told people going in he was going to pull himself out because of injury. And it showed him throwing these stupid turnovers. Like, it was obvious.
Oh, I didn't see that video.
Dude, they're
Oh,
brutal.
wow.
They're brutal.
Egregious.
It was egregious. If you look back on at the time, you're probably like, "What the hell?"
Get
right?
him out of the game,
right? But now you're looking back and you know that there's unusual betting activity, and then you see this guy basically handing the ball to the other team and taking crazy shots.
So the allegations are that Terry Rozier was a starter for the Hornets at the time. This is back in 2023, the Charlotte Hornets, and he told a friend of his, De Niro Laster, it was a childhood friend, that he was going to prematurely remove himself from the game in the first quarter due to a supposed injury and not return to play further. And so Rozier's friend then sold that information, made some money on his own to people who would then bet probably the under, right? If you know about sports betting, let's say Terry Rozier was on the over-under to score 12 points or 15 points or something. So if you bet the over, you'd think he would score more. If you bet the under, you would think he scored less. So all of a sudden there was all this activity on the under. And then he, in fact, took himself out at 9 minutes, 34 seconds in the first quarter.
And didn't play the rest of the season.
Didn't play the rest of the game.
It was the rest of the season.
Rest of the season.
Yes.
Took him
so he must have known he was injured. And he was like,
Probably.
hey, I'm going to start this game. I'm going to play as long as I can. I'm going to pull myself out. And then he had a legit injury. And he was like, this is going to look so good because I'm actually injured, right? And it looks like I got injured during the game. But what happens in these situations, I remember we covered a story a couple seasons ago
we did. Mm-hmm.
about a betting scandal that rocked college baseball. And the way they found that one is they know how much activity is on a certain game.
For sure.
Right?
And a certain bet, even.
Right. So, like, you have this obscure D2 college baseball team or D1 college baseball team, but it's just a real small one, and somebody bets $500,000 on that game. They're like, this is extremely unusual activity on this game. So then they scrutinize the game, and they look for, like, is somebody throwing this, right?
I bet they
Which
can
is
even-
what happened with Rozier. It's
Exactly.
Like they have unusual activity, and then they start scrutinizing that game, and they're like, look at this turnover. And then he pulls himself out, and it's like, I wonder if there was some inside information, right?
I think they also look to see if like let's say it's me, right? I do enjoy sports betting, but I don't bet a lot. Like $5 a game or $10 a game, right? And all of a sudden, if Kevin Smith's betting $1,000 on
Or 10,000.
yeah, 10,000
because people are greedy.
Sure. And so they're like, wait a minute. I think they look at their individual, like who bet it?
Right.
Is it commensurate with their usual betting?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I come walking in, I
Right.
never bet, and I bet $100,000, and I
Exactly.
nail it. Right.
Yes. Yes.
Like the first time I bet $100,000 in my life, and I nail it. Right.
Right. That's gotta be a red
unusual
flag.
for sure. Right.
And then also
this
I
guy
was-
never bets, and he comes in and he nails us. Right.
And I was thinking, like, I wonder if like some of the bets were in a certain locale, and they
Good.
see like, oh,
Yeah.
there's a
All
bunch
like-
of bets like in
all
Hammond,
from Hammond,
Indiana, of like
bunch
10
of people in Hammond.
are betting
Where did he grow up?
$100 each.
Oh, he grew up in Hammond. Why? It's like, oh, maybe there's some inside knowledge.
So
right?
I was thinking same thing,
For
right?
sure.
Like they look at that, and
They do, for
but
sure.
It's like, how do you really think you're? I mean, maybe we only hear about the ones that are getting caught. Maybe there are a bunch of people out there that are doing great, screwing over the sports betting apps. But that's and by the way, Tom, that's just one aspect of this thing. The crazy part of this case is this whole thing about these illegal poker games,
Right.
And so it's kind of known, I think, that the mob runs illegal poker games, and they do it. They're high stakes. They do it in like hotel rooms or secret places. You think of it as like some sort of like underground bar or something, under basement of a bar or something in New York. And they always ran these games. And so what they would do is they co-opted, at least the allegations are, Hall of Famer Chauncey Billups. By the way, on Wednesday night, he was coaching the Portland Trailblazers. Today, he's arrested and out of a job, or at least on leave.
Out of his job forever.
He's
never coming back to
I
the
wouldn't
NBA.
think so. And so they co-opted these. Got the mob got like Chauncey Billups and said, hey, we'll cut you in on this. This is what we want you to do. We want to tell people you can play poker with Chauncey Billups. Like, you get NBA
So there's a lot of
fans
people that are like, yeah, I just want to play poker with Chauncey Billups, right?
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Like, I was lucky enough to walk into a Pai Gow game at Caesars, and Ricky Henderson was sitting there.
Oh, my God.
It was so cool
Yeah.
to play Pai Gow at like 8 in the morning at Caesars in Vegas with Ricky Henderson. I didn't know he was there, but in this instance, they're saying, hey, come play this high-stakes poker game. I got some NBA stars lined up.
But now the poker game is rigged. Everybody at the table is in on it except for the fish.
Yeah.
The fish is the person like me that shows up because I want to play poker with Rozier, right?
Yes.
So everybody is in on the game. Everybody at the table, and they're all communicating with each other except for you, the fish. And, of course, they're going to invite a fish that's worth millions. So you don't mind losing $1 million. You're like, man, I got smoked that day.
But I got to play with Chauncey Billups.
Right. Everybody was waxing me all around that table, and I got up and left. You didn't know you were the only person in that entire room that was part of the deal.
Yeah, and so they would call these NBA
including Rozier, including
Billups.
Yeah.
And they would say Jones and Billups are called face cards. So they called the people like, the chumps, the fish, and they called the NBA stars the face cards. And so what they would say is the face cards knew about the scheme, and what would happen is they had self-shuffling machines that had been secretly altered to read the cards in a deck and predict which player at the table had the best poker hand. That information was then sent to an off-site operator who allegedly sent the information via cell phone to the face card, the co-conspirator at the table, and the co-conspirator, known as the quarterback, then allegedly secretly signaled the information to other defendants and used that information to win the poker games.
Dude, that is insane.
And they had hidden cameras that could read X-ray tables that could read the cards from underneath the table.
Gosh.
So you could see what your down cards were as you sat at the table. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Yeah, he's not coming back to basketball. If
Yeah.
that's true. True.
So they arrested these two NBA stars in their homes yesterday morning. They arrested a bunch of people from the mob yesterday as well. And the FBI is rocking the National Basketball Association.
I mean,
right
the
now.
FBI director, Kash Patel, even actually got on and introduced these indictments and said that it is the fraud. It's a quote: "The fraud is mind-boggling," he said. And I don't know if Ricky Patel, I don't know if that's any relation, was the special agent in charge for Homeland Security investigations in New York, and kind of laid this all out. So it's interesting. It's wide-reaching, and I'm sure this may just be the tip of the iceberg. Really crazy.
Much worse than the Pete Rose gambling scandal, and Pete Rose was banned for life.
Yeah, never charged though. I don't think.
No,
just banned from baseball until Trump made the current.
This is, I mean, the FBI being involved.
ban.
Obviously, the FBI is involved because there's illegal gambling, and it also involves electronic gambling, which is
and the mafia.
And the mafia.
Yeah.
This is ugly, man. So I don't think you're going to see that coach come back.
No.
He's a Hall of Famer, right?
He is. Chauncey Billups, man. He was really famous on the Pistons back in the day.
He is done.
MVP. Yeah.
But you know what we're not talking about?
The Epstein
By talking
files.
about-
Whatever you do, don't talk about the Epstein files. They could figure all this shit out, but they can't figure out.
Squirrel.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Good show.
It was a good show.
Good to be back.
It was good to be back. So anyway, it was there was a lot of ups, a lot of downs.
Thank you for wearing that pro Halloween sweatshirt.
Yes, I was
Yeah,
my
let's
pro
take a look
Halloween
at that.
sweatshirt. Love Halloween. I'm gonna give.
You
it to
should
my
wear it
daughter.
again.
I'm gonna wear it again.
Stretch it out there.
Yeah.
Like it's not
That's
wrinkled.
all right.
What's the?
So there's a
Hold
special
on a
message.
second.
There's a special message built into my shirt. So
All right.
Seeing
Leave that for chat.
Something in the ribs.
Yeah.
We'll leave that for chat.
Oh
Anyway.
no.
anyway,
Oh. All right.
all right.
Wrap
Nice.
us up.
Season 16, episode 15 is in the books. We appreciate you all very much for listening to LOCPod. I want to say happy belated birthday to my mother-in-law, Lynn, who I know listens to every episode. Called her up with a special message yesterday. And thanks to Jill for being here. It's good to see you. Jay Vez, another great job. Kevin, awesome job. And coming to you from the Locomotive. Another one's in the books. We're going to be back on Tuesday with another episode. We're going to try to start lining up some guests so we get some guests in here. I got to get Jason Gore, too. So we're going to work on that, and we'll be back on Tuesday. Take care, everybody. See you on Tuesday. LOCPod's out.